And we're back here on the Y'all Show, and we're back in Mississippi as we are teaming up this week with the Mississippi Tourism Association, and we're visiting their board retreat going on in Cleveland, Mississippi. And it gives us an opportunity here on the Y'all Show to talk about Mississippi tourism. If you were with us earlier, we had a quick tour of Meridian, and we visit Vicksburg along the Mississippi River. And now we're going to stay in the Mississippi Delta and welcome in a very special guest to tell us all about Greenwood and LaFleur County, Mississippi. Danielle Morgan is with Visit Greenwood. And Danielle, she's got her green on and she's ready to talk about Greenwood. Hello, welcome to the Y'all Show, Danielle.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me.
Do you wear green every day?
Not every day, but I do wear it a lot, and I also am a Delta State alum, so when in Cleveland, wear your green.
Go Okra.
That's right.
How about that, Okra? And of course, Greenwood, if you're not familiar with Greenwood, it is what, an hour and a half north of Jackson? You're about halfway between Jackson and Memphis, correct?
That's right. We're right there in the middle.
Right there in the middle, right on Amtrak's line. I've actually seen the Amtrak block the streets of Greenwood.
That's right. That happens pretty often, actually, but we love the city of New Orleans, so we deal with it. But we're glad to be on that line. It's a very storied line indeed.
Yes, it is, and a great place there. I'll tell you what. Can I tell you a little dirty secret about yours truly?
Sure.
I have taken a honeymoon to Greenwood, Mississippi. Now, how many people do that?
I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just true confession
Did
here
y'all,
on the
did y'all
Y'all.
have a good time?
We did, and
Good.
unfortunately, the marriage didn't last. But I don't blame Greenwood for that.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
But I did have a good time. And take a wild guess, Danielle. Why do you think former wife wanted to go to Greenwood, Mississippi for a honeymoon? Just take a wild guess.
The spa.
That would be part of it. It would be the alluvian. The
That's
alluvian.
right.
Let's not forget that right there in Greenwood, in Mississippi, you might be rural and you might be an hour and a half maybe from an airport, but you got one of the best hotels in the land there in Greenwood with the alluvian. Tell people a little bit more about the history of that.
Absolutely. So the building was actually Hotel Irving back about a little over 100 years ago. And when they built it, they said it was going to be the first skyscraper in Greenwood at 4 stories. So anyway, it after Hotel Irving closed a few years later, as Viking was bringing in a lot of people to train, they decided that they would like their own property for that. And then it sort of turned into its own destination of people coming and relaxing and enjoying the Delta culture, Viking cooking school, the spa. So it's a Four Diamond boutique property. It was the first boutique hotel in the Delta, and we are just so proud of it. It's really a wonderful experience. Everything's right there. You can just walk across the street to the spa and the cooking school. You've got Gardenia's restaurant right there at the hotel, and of course, tons of other great restaurants. For a town our size, Greenwood is really a great culinary town.
Yes, sign me up for Crystal Grill any day of the week. Love that place. I'm a sucker for Delta tamales, and you can get some good ones there at the Crystal Grill. But she mentioned Danielle Viking, and let me remind you, in case that kind of slipped past you, famous the famous grill company, cooking company, whatever you want to call it, that make really high end appliances for kitchens. Viking, it's headquartered and was founded there in Greenwood, Mississippi, and that's why they kind of got behind the alluvian and why they put on a cooking school there. And it's a great getaway for sure. You don't have to go and get married to go there. You can go there and just have a good time any
You can
day of the
even
week.
get married there if you want to. They have a great courtyard. We've had some weddings there, so. But yeah, absolutely, Viking is a huge part of our Greenwood story. It was born there in Greenwood.
Hmm.
Now a sister company to Viking, Links Grills, is also headquartered there in Greenwood. So we're just we love their partnership, and a lot of people have come to town to sort of have that experience of where it all began. So
Like I said, Greenwood is a really unique place. It's in the Mississippi Delta, but it's on the edge of the Delta. So if you need to get out of that Delta lifestyle, 30 minutes away, you can be in the big town of Grenada or somewhere like that and have a good time and come back to Greenwood, of course. Now, the Alluvian is a wonderful option to stay. What are some of your other hotels, B&Bs, and more that we want to spotlight here with you, Danielle?
Sure. Well, so on the kind of other end of the spectrum, if you want to have a more adventurous, rustic experience, there's Tallahatchie Flats, which is just about 2 miles outside of Greenwood on Money Road, which has a lot of its own great history. And they have six sharecropper houses that were moved from different areas in the Delta that you can overnight in. They are, you know, decorated authentically. What's not authentic is they do have the modern amenities like air conditioning, indoor plumbing, and heat. So, but it's a real cool way to have that Delta experience out sort of from town. You have your own private space. It's great right now because it's contactless check-in and you can bring your dog since we're all a little more attached to our animals now that we've spent every day with them for a few months. So that's an option too, to bring your pet and, sit on the porch, have a drink, take out from a great restaurant, or you can cook your own meal there. So that's another experience. We also have a lot of great brand hotels as well, if that's what you're into. So there's really just a little something for everybody.
Danielle, I detected a little bit of love of a canine there, so you better go ahead since you kind of called said canine out. Give it a little love here on the Y'all Show.
My dog,
Yeah, your dog.
my dog is Howard Street Howard, and he's
Howard
named after
Street Howard.
he was the downtown rescue dog. He lived downtown for a couple of months, and we were all chasing him and all looking for him and feeding him. Everybody in town was feeding him, and we somehow we ended up with him about 3 years ago, and so we named him. Of course, I name if you name a dog, you're going to end up with it. So I named him Howard Street Howard, and then the rest is history. So.
And I get the Howard Street. I don't understand the Howard at the end.
Well, his name is Howard,
Oh,
and he lived on Howard Street. So Howard Street Howard.
okay. Well, if it works for you, it works for us. So we're just glad that you
Well,
and
I'll just say that when we did capture him, the Greenwood Commonwealth did a breaking news alert. So the whole town was sort of invested at that point, and he's had news stories and retail campaigns built around him. So he's quite the celebrity.
Now, Danielle, one of the things that we've covered on our show in the past in terms of Greenwood, Mississippi, are some of the things that you have. I've been to your spring festival there many years ago, and you've had, I know, a bike race or some kind of marathon or something there in the past. All that, I'm sure, got shuttered with the coronavirus. What can you tell us is going to happen in Greenwood, Mississippi that we can kind of set on our calendar and head your way?
Well, actually, there's a few events upcoming. Bikes, Blues, and Bayous is one of the things you mentioned, which is actually the largest bike ride in Mississippi. It is a very unique experience. We have a 62 mile, 46 mile, 22 mile, and 11 mile. There's a lot of history and culture mixed in, live blues. That's going to be occurring August 1st. They did limit the numbers of participants, so it sold out fairly quickly. But the Greenwood Gravel Grind, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with gravel cycling, but that's
No.
sort of a really big trend in cycling, is actually these gravel bikes. And so we started this last year, the Greenwood Gravel Grind. This will be the second year. It was set for April, but it's actually been moved to the fall as well. So that is an option. The Viking Marathon, half marathon, and 5K also moved from the spring. So we're going to have about 4 events in August and September as of now. So
I think what Danielle's trying to tell everybody, hint, hint, you might want to go ahead and get your hotel reservation in place. What's the best way for people to do that? The Visit Greenwood site?
I would say for the dates, I would monitor Visit Greenwood for any updates. Of course, we're all living on a prayer right now, so we're things are changing every day. But that's a great place to monitor sort of what's happening as far as booking. We're happy to help if you want to give us a call or reach out via our website. We're happy to help you with options, send you a visitor guide. One great thing about Greenwood right now, too, is we already had a lot of self-guided tours in place.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a civil rights tour, a tour about the life of Robert Johnson. Of course, he's buried in Greenwood, 3 graves. And then also the movie The Help, which was filmed in Greenwood. We have a lot of people that want to come see all the sites from that. And then we also have a downtown walking tour that tells the history of downtown. So there's a lot of great options that you can get out and do on your own. We have those on our website. Visit greenwood.com, as well as we're happy to mail you one if you're a paper person.
Sounds good. And Danielle, if you don't mind, what are some of your social media connections people can follow you on?
Yes, so Travel Greenwood is Instagram and Twitter, and Travel Greenwood MS is where you can find us on Facebook.
All right, visit Greenwood, Mississippi. Everybody make your plans. Wedding or no wedding, head there. And don't forget to see Danielle and Howard Street Howard while you're visiting Greenwood and LaFleur County, Mississippi. Danielle, thank you for your time today, and thank you for sharing all about Greenwood and LaFleur County, Mississippi with everybody here at the Y'all Show.
Thank you so much, John. Come see us.
We will do it. And more of the Y'all Show is coming up right after this. Don't y'all go anywhere now.